As I said, you've got a presence now in Uganda, you've got a presence in South Sudan. But first, let's take a look at your home market, Kenya, and how the business is doing in Kenya right now. Of course, your insurance business seems to be a key driver, but just break it down in terms of the key revenue generators for you in the home market of Kenya.
Thank you very much for having me this evening. Now, you're right, Kenya is the key core market for UAP. Our origins in this market, although the history of UAP has been fairly long. We've been operating the Kenyan market for the last 80 years. Flagship company is called UAP Insurance Kenya. It is a market leader in general insurance. I think you call it short-term business, South Africa, or property and casualty in the US. Now, in terms of market share, if you include general insurance and medical, we have got the third largest market share. But in terms of quality of our earnings and the profitability of our book, I think the quality of our earnings, I think, is one of the most strongest. We've seen that the different lines for general insurance business that we provide services to, they're fairly profitable. I think we have most of the profitable classes of insurance compared to our competitors. Now, maybe if I could take you back to our regional strategy, I think in 2004 we embarked on a regional strategy by making an acquisition, a majority acquisition to a company in Uganda. 2 years later, in 2006, we set up a greenfields operation in South Sudan and established UAP Insurance South Sudan. Both business and market leaders. UAP Insurance South Sudan is currently the largest market share. We estimate its market share to be in excess of 40%. And UAP Insurance Uganda continues to drive in very interesting, innovative products and services. Now, following, obviously...
Dominic, before you go anywhere, can you just give us an update on the South Sudan situation and whether you're concerned about your operations there? We know that there has been a bombing attack, of course, on the border. It has been unstable, the region, and this appears to have turned slightly more violent. What is your update? What is your assessment, basically, of the economic situation right now and the vulnerability of your business, given the fact that you are the largest insurer there right now?
That's right. I think there's going to be a challenge in the short term, but what we've done, we've taken a long-term view. I think the nature of our business is insurance and investment, so we do take a long-term view in this market. We've done some assessments, if you like, of the risk that we see in that market. The problem that they currently have in South Sudan, we strongly believe is going to be addressed. I think it's a problem that affects both the entire region and, of course, the international community, and I think there's goodwill on both sides to ensure that the problem is addressed. Otherwise, it's going to have serious, ramifications. So we are confident it to be addressed. But of course, in the short term, you do expect some setback, following the challenges they're facing.
So talk to us then about
what we're doing at UAP is that we continue to look at opportunities for growing our business. You did mention about us outlining our Pan-African growth strategy. We do have Pan-African visions. We want to be the most innovative Pan-African financial services group. We're on course to do that. In the course of this year, we're going to open operations in 3 markets. That will be DRC, Rwanda, and Tanzania, and we'll explore both greenfields and obviously acquisition as an entry strategy into those markets.
You're looking at raising 5.5. Sorry, Dominic. You're looking at raising 5.5 billion shillings. That's from private equity investors as well as the public market, and coming to the market later than expected in August this year, or you've postponed your plans to come to the market. Basically, just give us an update on how much money so far has been raised and how you're going to attract capital right now to invest basically in your Pan-African plans.
Okay, what you did, as you recall, last year there was an announcement that the UAP Group will be doing an IPO at the Nairobi Stock Exchange. However, those plans were postponed in August of 2011 of last year, when it became quite clear that the public markets have become bearish, and it was very, very difficult to obviously raise that kind of capital. So what we did following board approval is that we started engaging private equity funds in the private equity market. We have had very, very extremely positive discussions and engagement with the private equity firms we've talked to. The interest in UAP as a group has been extremely strong. In fact, we're on the tail end of concluding those discussions, and very soon we'll be making some announcements. So out of the 5.5 billion to 6 billion we're trying to raise, the bulk of it will come from private equity funds, our institutional investors. There's a small component which we intend to do a public offer, but not a listing. I think a listing will consider doing a listing between 12 to 24 months once the public markets improve. But our strategy of doing a public offer is also to enable us to increase our shareholder base from what it is now to about to at least 1,000 shareholders.